Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Synchronic. Yeah, it's like it implies. I'm assuming it's a synthetic drug, maybe marijuana, you know, that's what it seems like. But anyway, there are two paramedics in New Orleans gets their lives torn apart because they're witnessing multiple deaths based on this designer drug that is otherworldly. You know, so I don't know. That's what IMDb says, but it's 6.4 on IMDb, and 1,343 people have rated it so far. So, hour and 41 minutes long. Again, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I had to scroll all the way to the end to see who's in this movie. So I have to keep that in mind now, because I knew Mackie was in it. So I'm like, I'm gonna watch it. You know, I want to see him in it. But he's the last one on the IMDb list, and then Jamie Dornan is also in it. So who knows who else is in here that I might recognize, but they're the two names that I notice right now. So I'm excited. I'm gonna get into it. It's a horror. That's the other piece of it. Horror, drama, sci-fi. I don't know. Could be good. I'm hoping. Out on Redbox. Let's get into it. Let's find out what it's really about. Give you a better idea and let you know if it's worth watching. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Synchronic. We're at the 44-minute, 5-second mark. Kinda interesting. Like IMDb kind of said, there's this drug, Synchronic, that's, you know, throughout New Orleans. It's not nationwide or anything like that. And these kids, they open it up like this. So these kids take it and they see weird stuff. You know, it's kind of, I guess, like a bad trip in a sense. And then they either, you know, they end up hurting themselves or somebody else, and that's where Mackie and his partner come in. They're, paramedics, so they drive around and they're first on the scenes for all this stuff, and so they're starting to see the impacts of this stuff to kids and what's happening to them, and trying to figure out what's going on. The other paramedic, he has a family, a wife, an 18-year-old daughter, and a 1-year-old daughter. You know, little difference there. But, you know, so it goes into their lives a little bit. Mackie is a bachelor, you know, pretty good with the ladies, likes to party a lot. But we see visions of possibly what has happened in his past to have him become a bachelor. I won't go into that. But they haven't said that yet. I'm just insinuating what we're seeing. But the bottom line is this drug is ruining young lives in New Orleans, and Mackie, you know, is onto it. So he's trying to do what he can to prevent it, and trying to figure out what it is. And here's where you know, just to kind of give you an idea, I guess the thought process is that this drug is so good that it helps you get outside the space-time continuum. You know, not that you can time travel so much, but maybe that you can. I don't know. That's what it's kind of about. So I don't know that. That's what they're leading you to believe. You go time. You don't know yet. You bend time in a sense. I have no idea. So, but people get hurt, and we don't know all of that yet. But so far, the premise is pretty interesting, pretty creative, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm not a big fan of time travel, but you never know. I want to see what they do here, so hopefully it ends up good. So stick around. I won't go on any further. I'll get back into it here and let you know at the end if I enjoyed it and if it's worth watching. So stick around.
Sir, can you tell me what caused the injury?
Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Synchronic, and I tell you what, it really turned out to be a pretty decent film. There are some flaws with it, but overall, I thought it was good. Oddly enough, this happens all the time if you ever watch my channel. I check in at the best times ever, because right after that, 44:05, it changes. The entire movie changes. Like what we were watching for the first 44 minutes was one thing. What we got for the rest of the film was completely different. And I'll say it like this. It was like crime, drugs, you know, paramedics. I don't know, you think of a TV show like I don't know what a good one is, but you know what I mean, where there's paramedics and there's drugs and there's crime and there's drug dealers and all that stuff going on and there's death and everybody's trying to figure it out. Then it turns into a sci-fi type movie. Like I said, I told you a little bit about what the drug does, but it really flips. It's like, and it not bad. It was just, I wasn't prepared for it. I was expecting to smooth along this entire way and whatever. But it turns into something completely different. And it worked. It worked for me, you know. So in the end, I really thought this was pretty neat. I liked what they did. I liked how they changed the path of the entire movie, you know, in my eyes anyway. Most of it was great. 2 areas of opportunity for me. So Anthony Mackie is our main character, and I mentioned they were showing a little bit of flashbacks on, you know, why he may be a bachelor, you know, but it's really character development for him, and they do a good job of foreshadowing with these flashbacks, but they don't build it up enough. I get it. I know what happens, right? I know what his character is made up of, or why he is who he is. Okay, get it? But they didn't make you care enough about it, I don't think. You know what I mean? It was so brief that it was like, oh. And I think they should have played that up a little bit more. That's important, I feel. Okay? So that's one thing. And it relates to the ending. You know, so the whole end of the film, I feel, if played up correctly, this plays out nice. But there's a logical hole, I think, in the end. I don't know if that's the right term to use, but I think it could have went many different ways, and they chose the way that it went, which is great. I'm on board with that. But I'm not going to spoil it for you, but what could have been done at the end could have been a little bit more heroic. I mean, right at the end. I don't know how to say it without spoiling it. It just seemed like, not lackadaisical, but, you know, you'll see what I mean. I get it. I know what they did. That's great. But the piece that I'm talking about is, you know, they could have done something different there. I'm sorry. I mean, not change the ending. I'm just thinking the actions that caused the ending that did. Anyway, I won't even say anymore. For those of you who've watched the film, you might know what I'm talking about. But if you didn't, check this out. It's different, and which is great. I like it, and it goes from Law and Order, or whatever you call it, Crime and Punishment, to, I don't know, sci-fi, Doctor Who. I don't know if that's a good example, but you know what I mean. It does. It's if you are interested in that kind of thing, I think it's pretty good. They said it's horror. It's not horror. It's a well done sleeper kind of movie. You know, 6 or a 7. I think like this is something my father-in-law would like. I think. I don't know. So check it out. You'll see what I mean when you watch it. Hopefully you enjoy it as much as I do. And you see the flip in the script, and then you know what I'm talking about at the end. And let me know what you think about the character, not the character development so much. I mean, I think he was developed well enough. It was the history that they keep foreshadowing to, but then just glaze over it. Otherwise, really good, worth a check out. So if you do, again, drop me some comments. Love to hear your thoughts. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, all that stuff. And I'm going to get out of here now so you can go ahead and watch this movie. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.